Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining today's webinar, e-commerce deep dive series. So at first, we're going to have a tech deep diving to showcase building steps of 2 e-commerce stores. Then I will pass it over to our special guest speaker for the 5 critical things you should have on your site. Just give me 1 second. Let me just admit more people joining. So we have Justin, Jenny, okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I will pass it over after that to our guest speaker for 5 critical things you should have on your site. So we appreciate your time, and we will try to keep this webinar within 1 hour. As always, you're welcome to ask questions, and I will try to address that along the way. And we will try to leave 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the Q&A and our special gift announcement. And 1 housekeeping call before we jump in. We would like, just 1 second, we have more people joining. Wow, today we have 20 people joining already. 21, that's great. So just please mute yourself for every one of us can get a better webinar experience. But anytime, please feel free to unmute yourself if you need to ask any question, and we will try to check that window as well from time to time. And thanks a lot for your support, right? Let's get 1 more people joining. That's Diana. And also Afia. That's great, yeah. So how's that sound so far? Hi, for the new friends you come, just want to make sure you unmute yourself in the process of the presentation. And we will have a Q&A at the end for 10 to 15 minutes and for the special gift announcement. And yeah, let's get started. How's that sound so far? And I hope you get excited, and let's dive in. So a quick disclaimer, we're trying to give as much information as possible, but please use at your own risk. And that's it. And our thanks to the community supporters. We have Vaughan Business Cafe, Richmond Hill Board of Trade. Thanks for your support, and also quite some WeChat groups as well. So we have Chongqing University Alumni Association IT group, How to Start a Startup Study group, Only IT Elite group, and Toronto Tech Entrepreneurs, and Canada Inventors group, Online Business Sharing group. And also we have Canada Sichuan University Alumni Community, Sichuan University of Science and Tech Engineering Canadian Alumni Association. Thank you all for your generous support, and let's work together as a community to go through this tough period of time. Our goal, our focus today, after the webinar, we hope you will be able to get ideas for the simple steps to sell online and focus on the 5 critical things of your website to increase the performance. So a little bit about today's speaker, myself, and Joe will have his intro in his part. Today we're going to have 2 parts. First, the deep dive from my side, and then we have Joe for the critical things on your website. So I have 20+ years of business solution development and critical infrastructure building experience, currently working on Neighbourhood Watch Plus from More Secure Computing. So this is an AI-based community safety platform to provide end-to-end security solutions. At both More Secure and the Neighbourhood Watch Plus, our focus is always like more effective and affordable secure solutions to our customer base. And with the current pandemic situation brings in the huge health concern and absolutely slowdown of the economy. As business try to adapt to the new norm, with already tight budget and the lack of experience in the house, we need to balance the security, affordability, and the effectiveness. And but at the same time, we do see the new business revenue model as well. You probably can hear Zoom, their business growing, Microsoft, their team experience, get more market share. In fact, one of the reference company from Neighbourhood Watch Plus is called Next Door. And it's a California-based company. Recently, they say 70% of the business growth in the month of March to April. We have one more guest joining, and that's Shara. Yeah. So so the thing is we need to adapt as an entrepreneur and as business owner, as a manager or technical. So once we can adapt to this new trend, I hope we can get new business revenue model, build more efficient, resilient business along the way. And of course, we can have happy employee as well. Okay. Oh, 1 second. Jackie. Okay. Sorry for that. Hello, everyone, especially as a new joining guest. We're in the process of the presentation. So we just talked about opportunities for this new pandemic situation. And I hope, yeah, we have one more person joining. So let's dive in the first example for the e-commerce store. So this is based on the technology platform called Ecwid. So Ecwid is basically a software application as a service platform, and which that means you just pay for the monthly fee. You don't need to install anything for your backend. And what's nice about that compared to other e-commerce platform, it has a free forever plan. And for this plan, if you have less than 10 products you want to sell online, you can use it free forever. It's not a trial, or it's not a 3 months mitigation plan or stuff like that. And one feature is it's so easy to use. I will show you that just a moment. And it's so easy to get started as well. And there's no transaction fee. And you can, once you have your e-commerce store, you can easily integrate that into your website. And you can sell digital goods such as pictures, music, stuff like that as well. And one more thing is GDPR compliance. The General Data Protection Regulation is 2016. It's an EU law on data protection and privacy in the European Union and the European Economic Area. So since we have the e-commerce, we want to sell to pretty much everywhere. And so this also GDPR compliance address transfer of personal data outside the EU and the EEA area as well. So, and it was implemented in 2018. Not many e-commerce platform has this GDPR compliance feature. which is something I really want to mention for the Ecwid. So only 6 steps to sell the stuff online. You need to create an account, and you need to create your online store. And once you have that, you add a product there. And once you have your product, you verify your geolocation, and then you set up the shipping and pickup, and then you set up your payment, and that's it. You can get your stuff sell and you get paid. So let's use an example to go through the details. So this is a home page. You go there, ecwid.com. You sign up or you log in as a user. Once you sign up, you can see the dashboard. On the right-hand side, you see this clearly indicated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps, right? So you just click onto those 6 steps one by one, and you can get your stuff set up and ready to go. And once you get each step set up, you can always go back to the dashboard here, and then you can go to the next steps. So for example, the first step, you set up your, it's called a sales channel. So what sales channel means, you have your store, you can put your sales into your website, you can put that into your Facebook or Instagram, the social network platform, or the Google Shopping, or the POS, or eBay, Amazon, those kind of marketplace, right? But we're here today talking about more for the website, how to sell it on your website. So you have add options there for the from Ecwid. Now I'm going to showcase, this is how I built my e-com store for Neighbourhood Watch Plus. So with a residential service subscription, this specific item, so I use that, add the product and create a new product there. So you can just put in the name, SKU number, and the description, right? And the description is a WYSIWYG editor. Put in the information with a rich content. And at the top, you can have as many pictures as you want to show in your product information page. Of course, price information there, and availability if that's in the stock. If it's a physical product, you may have that here as well. And along the way, you have this, it will pop up from time to time for the tutorial. And if you get stuck anywhere, you can just read, yeah, you can just read, just go through the tutorial, and you're good to go there. So the attribute, you can put in the UPC number and the brand number, brand name there as well. It will show in the product page. And for the options, this is especially useful. Like in this case, I have the monthly charge or the annual charge, a yearly plan. So I can put this price there specifically. And then for the digital good, you can have this, yeah, you can have this tax and the shipping. The digital good is under the files tab there. And from the tax and the shipping, you can go set up your tax rates there. And from the tax rate, you click on the menu, because it's automatic feature only available with a paid plan, but the manual plan is good enough to get started. Is that okay so far? We just use this kind of go through to deep dive the e-commerce store. If you can, if you have any question, always you can use a chat window to show me.
Yeah, John, it's Susan here. Yeah. Is this something comparable to the Amazon storefront?
Yeah, so for the Amazon store, that's so we just did the categorization for Amazon. So it's a marketplace for Amazon, right? So the difference from this kind of store is you can have this store build up your own brand name. So it's not necessarily put you into the marketplace, so you have to compete with other competitors at the same time, right? So this is all about build your own brand name, your brand awareness, and be able to sell it through your own sales channel. Not necessarily you have to compete with other of the competitors, right? So
how about
so
compare
that's
with
only different.
yeah, sorry. How about compare with the Shopify? Is that also have some similar platform?
Yeah, so you missed the last week's session. So we did actually compare Ecwid with Shopify, and Ecwid is more easier for people to get started, while Shopify is also easy as well. Need a little bit learning curve that way for Shopify itself, and that's why as a let's say when we introduce that to the small to medium-sized business, especially you don't have that kind of big pocket to hire the consultant to set up stuff, or like Ecwid is a good way to go, and it has a free forever plan. If you have less than 10 product, you absolutely you get that e-com store function for free. Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Susan. And thank you to MTSI. Mashu, right? Mashu, the CTO from McKinsey Technology Solution. Wow, that's great. Thank you, Mashu.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So the residential, then we go back to the product page. We have this tags set up already. You just need to click on enabling. So after that, you have your product setup finished, and then you have this buy now button. You can put this buy now button anywhere on your website. But what's even better of that is, yeah. So what's even better is you can set up all your information for your store, and including your company information, email, stuff like that, address. And also you can upload your logo. And what this is, once you have those stuff set up, you can have this very nice invoice, professional invoice as well, something like this. Once customer come to your site, they made the purchase, they will get an invoice something like this in a very easy to read format. And once you get your store done, you can have this store to integrate into your website. Here is what looks like into my website. So just for your information, my site doesn't have this store at this moment yet, because this service was planned to launch in March timeframe, but because of the pandemic, we have to hold that at this moment. So this is from our development server, the screenshot. And once people click into the item, they get into this product detail page, and they can choose between monthly option or the yearly option from here. And after that, they can add that into the shopping bag. And here is the stuff. Go to the checkout. And once they come to the checkout page, yeah, you can see they have the options to pay by cash, or they can pay by PayPal. And they put in their address, and they are good to go. And once they finish the purchase, they have this confirmation page. And you can tell from the image here, everything is still on my website, right? But they get this completely like an e-com shopping experience. And by the way, my website is on the Jamstack. If you missed last week's session, the Jamstack stands for JavaScript API and markup. And it's kind of a new trend to build the technology, especially. Actually, this morning there's a what's claimed, what's called the largest web conference in the cloud this morning. In the keynote talking about the React, the Jamstack as well, what's a benefit. And it's a great thing. We are using that latest technology already. And you can say it's a very like integrated seamless experience. When people go to your site, they can use that e-com functionality, and this is completely free for you as well. Thank you for the service from the Ecwid. Is there any questions so far for the Ecwid, this demo? You can raise up your hand and or you can put into the chat window. So one question from Jenny is, so what do they charge for? Okay, so Jenny, this Ecwid is a platform. They provide the e-com solution, and this plan, they have a free forever plan, has a limitation for both like the number of the product and some of the functionalities. So if you need to have more than 10 products to sell online, you have to go into their a paid plan. Or if you want to have, for example, customize the invoice or have this product variant, different product options, stuff like that too, you have to use their paid option as well. So that's a catch there. But anyway, for me, this free forever plan fits the purpose, and it's good. It's good for my current business offering already. So that's why I'm using it. That's why I'm trying to share that with you guys as well. Does that answer your question, Jenny? Okay, great. Thank you. Now, let's move on to the next example for the e-commerce. So this is based on the odoo product. So odoo is a suite of open source business application. It covers pretty much everything all your company need, from your website, from your CRM, e-commerce, accounting, inventory, POS, project management, whatever you need for your business operation. And odoo's unique value is very easy to use, and very easy to use that fully integrated solution at the same time as well. Great, thank you, Matthew. Matthew just said McKinsey Technology loves odoo. Thank you. So we're on the same page then. That's great. So, and odoo itself is it has varieties of the options for you as well. You can use it as a SaaS, which means you don't need to install anything. You just use their service. You pay for the monthly fee, or you can have the managed hosting from odoo, or you can have the managed hosting from more secure as well. We do provide that service. And also you can have the odoo on your own premise. For some business owners, they say, okay, I want to absolutely have that data on my premise, in my brick and mortar, so I feel secure that way. So that's totally doable. Compared to other bigger suite of the tool, like for example, SAP, we compared that in the last week's session. So odoo is very easy to be affordable, and very much easier to implement as well. And odoo provide both community edition and enterprise edition. With the community edition, it has a whole bunch of functions comes out for free. And the enterprise edition, you have some advanced features as well. So we hope odoo can boost your business with the integrated functions there. Yeah, I got a question from Evelina. So will odoo work for us as well? Yeah, of course, odoo will be able to, let's say you can easily get started with odoo. But my recommendation would be, since odoo has a lot of functions there, with that one single suite of tools, it's better to get started one module at a time, right? Thank you, Evelina. Does that answer your question so far, Evelina? Okay, so let's move on. And this is let me explain the value of the full integration, what that brings to us. If you are in the modern sales world, you probably heard something like sales tech stack, right? This is a very simplified version. It covers pretty much everything from lead generation, from customer service, from the CRM, nurturing your customer, nurturing your lead into your customer, and also complete the full sales life cycle as well, right? So you can say it has a lot of the functions in there, a lot of the connections. Just want to remind you, each line represents the expense, right? And you have to pay different solutions individually, and you have to find the customization to connect those services together. And that's why the term sales tech stack means, and there are sales tech stack consultants out there. They can help you to build this kind of very spaghetti sales process. But with odoo, you have one single suite of the tool. You have pretty much everything from your website into your accounting, and you can do everything from the same console. And of course, we recommend you to pick and choose. Start from small and get familiar with a suite, and then grow from there. And odoo has an online store as well. So it has a website, e-commerce function, blah, 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 and you can build that easily. I'm going to go through that odoo very quickly. And once you log into odoo, you have this website function. You go there, and then you can click on the products menu, and you start to build your product by create your product there. And after that, you just type in the product information, and including the pictures there as well. You put in the price information, HST information, tax information as well. And then the same thing, you click on the e-commerce tab for your product information page, and you can add more pictures for that single product. And after that, you get your nice page, something like that. And at the bottom, you can add more text there as well. You can see there's an edit button in the top right corner for the page, and you can click on that, and that lets you to edit what your page should be look like. This is one example. You can add more picture, and you can upload your image. And once you upload, your image will show up in the WYSIWYG editor. WYSIWYG stands to what you say is what you get, and both Ecwid and odoo provide that kind of functions. And after that, you need to publish your product. Then your product will show in the store. So once again, you can say it's a fully integrated experience, and people come to my site, they can go to the shop, they can see those products there. And when they click into the product information, they can go shopping they can add that into the shopping cart. So one last thing I want to show you from Odoo is a payment gateway integration. You can have a whole bunch of payment options there. You can just install and enable and put it in there. And for the PayPal, you can see different options here as well. And you put in the fee. You can add extra fee if people choose to use PayPal. So that's about how we do the Odoo for the e-commerce. And here we have this strategy. We have a lot of the for today's takeaway, right? So how you can go to sell the stuff online. So it depends on your needs, right? If you want just offer something to sell quick, you can use Ecwid. If you want to think about you as a business owner, start your business operation online, and you can choose some module to get started with Odoo. And normally you can start with an e-commerce module from Odoo as well. So this is a more secure offer. We have this Gatsby, which is a Jamstack, Ecwid, and Odoo professional service, managed service as well. Okay, so the tips and tricks, and we have this link last week. We have that free resources still available, and feel free to send me your email if you want to get those links. And today's bonus from more secure is you can get 1 hour consulting services for free, and you reply to the thank you email, and you can use that within 1 week. So, but I know you guys are not here just for that, right? So there is always one more thing, and that is our special guest speaker, Joe Mandelbaum. Joe has worked with some of the brightest minds in the online world for over 7 years, right? His #1 best-selling book, Winning Online, Increase Your Visibility and Crush Your Competition, became a #1 bestseller in 6 categories, 48 hours after he launched it on Amazon. So today, we're grateful to have Joe share some of his knowledge and teach us the 5 things your website must have to attract new customers, especially during uncertain times like this. So please welcome Joe Mandelbaum. Joe, please take away. Thanks.
Thank you, John. It was a great presentation. I actually use Ecwid. So it's definitely a great product to turn your website into e-commerce without necessarily having to build an e-commerce website. So it's great value. I've been using it for a while, and I certainly recommend that. Today, what I'd like to do is, if everybody could keep their buttons muted while I present, and we'll open up the floor to questions and answers at the end of my talk today. And there will be a GIF at the end of my presentation. So if you stay to the end, get a bit of a bonus. And so grab a pen and paper. And so you can take some notes, because we've got a lot of nuggets that are going to come to you today. And I hope you all find value today. My goal today is to give each one of you some tips to help your website look a little better, maybe to update it a little bit, because especially now during the pandemic and everybody being online, it's so important that your online visibility is clean and better than before. You know, tell you a little bit about me first. I was in the transportation industry for about 25 years and sold my business, but realized that I had not embraced technology. I had not embraced online marketing. Being an entrepreneur, starting my company at 19, built it the hardest way one could build their company, and that's cold calling. And built it into a company. We had almost 100 staff in 2 countries. And when I sold it, at the end after, I went like this. I could have had a V8. I did not embrace online as I should have, and realized I could have sold my company for significantly higher if I had. So I made it my mission to go out and source out the most smartest people online and make sure that I will never, ever, ever be caught not utilizing the best technologies out there. And my passion is now helping business owners win online so they can have a bit of an advantage over their competition and you know, help to crush it. So it's very important that we're all online right now. We're all sitting from our homes, most of us. We have more time on our hands, some of us. Some of us are scared as to what's happening. We're all concerned with what's going on. However, as business owners, we must pivot our business or we're going to get crushed. And it's very, very important that your online looks tip-top. Not every business owner understands, how can my website look tip-top? What are the things I need to do to make it look better? And how could you know, because you're supposed to be running your business? The internet has grown significantly, as we know, especially since COVID. Amazon hiring 175,000 people. Papa John's hiring 20,000 new drivers. You have YouTube and Netflix throttling back their streaming speeds so they don't break the internet. So this is where everything is right now. So you have to pivot. You have to try to do something online. As an example, I know a chiropractor who has to obviously shut his business, but his passion is dog training. So he put an online course for dog training, and in his first month, he got recurring revenue of almost $21,000. So you may want to keep your mind open. How can you serve your clients during this time? And if you can't serve your clients, at least reach out to them and, you know, just see how they're doing. Everybody right now is kind of wondering what's going on, and the more interaction we have in terms of this way, not in person, I think it will help everybody. So I'm now going to get on with the 5 things your website must have to attract new customers, especially during times like these. So just give me a moment and I will, John, if you can let me share my screen here.
Yeah, you can feel free to share it.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Now I can see it.
It's over here. Okay, so. I'll just wait for this to start here.
That's a very sharp image.
Okay, this is me. Sorry. So the 5 things that your website must have to attract new customers, especially during uncertain times like these. The first thing you need on your website. Now, let me preface this, that these 5 things I'm going to give you today are a lot of things that are missed. There are a lot more things that you can put on your website in order to help convert your clients, to make them feel that you're speaking to them. However, I wanted to pick a few things that we can maybe implement right away, or you can implement right away to help your online presence. The other thing about this is, in social proof, we're talking a few ways to prove to your clients that you're socially aware, or that your clients are happy. You know, we all want social proof. We all want validation. Now, I put in here that people want to see reviews, not testimonials. Now, testimonials are great. However, if I really want to get a good opinion of you, what company is going to actually put a negative testimonial on their website? Very few are going to do that. So people want to see star ratings, although having testimonials is better than nothing. People want to see star ratings. They want to see good reviews. They want to see not so good reviews. I get business owners calling me all the time, upset. We've got a 1-star review. What do? I tell them, don't lose sleep. It makes you look more real. It makes your business look more human, if you will. If you ever go to a website and they have 250 reviews and they're all 5-star, I don't know about you, but I don't really trust that. You know, we're not stupid as humans or as consumers. So the sweet spot is generally around 4.5 to 4.8. So if you have a couple of reviews in there that aren't great, but they are from an actual customer, then you want to respond to that review and try to resolve that review with your customer. A lot of people you may or may not be able to resolve the review with, but what's more important is when people land on your site and people see your reviews, they see that you respond to your customer in a timely fashion. If I'm going to buy from you, then how do I know you're going to take care of me if I'm not happy? People look at reviews and they value them as much as third-party recommendations, and 90% of people look for reviews before buying any product or service. And the last point I'm going to talk about reviews is, I keep saying, putting reviews into your website. Depending on the platform that you have, you can have a review feature to put in there. We also have a review platform that we can integrate into your site. We're not going to talk about that today. That will be for a future discussion. However, it will be part of the gifts that we give out at the end today. The biggest reason that you want to keep reviews on your site is because you don't want people to leave your site. The first place everybody goes is your website to check out your credibility. Your website is your CV to the world, your resume to the world. That's where everybody's going to go to get validation that you're an actual business, and start to see the 3 things that you must emulate. Now, the 3 things a website and a brand must emulate are trust, number 1, credibility, number 2, and capability, number 3. And the 5 things I'm going to show you today will feed into that emulation, if you will. So the biggest thing about reviews on your site is because you don't want people leaving your site to look for reviews. You'd rather have them on your site, because if they leave your site, you've broken the cardinal rule of the internet, and that is, don't let your clients leave your site. Because if I leave your site, I may get sucked into Yelp, where I see your reviews, but I see all your competitors advertising on your page. So very important to keep people on your site as much as possible. Another way of social proof could be featuring a customer. A customer video testimonial is also very, very powerful as well. So that's the first thing, social proof. And all of these things I'm going to tell you today, have them as high up on your website as possible. When I land on your website, what I see in the box on my screen is called above the fold. Because when someone lands on your website, you have 2 to 4 seconds to convince them to stay on your website and to build trust and not close your tab. Because if I'm looking for your products or services, I probably have 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 tabs open where I'm comparing companies. All I'm looking to do is to shut down the ones that I don't like as quickly as possible. So very important that we have these as high up on your website as possible. Second thing that you should put on your website are any accolades or any awards. You have to show people, you know, if you've won something, big or small, even a sponsorship of a minor league team, you have to mention them. Even better, it will build a lot of trust on your website. It's a very critical component to any sale, is obviously building trust. So if you have accolades or awards, great, put them there. If you don't, maybe you can put some of the brands you've worked with. If you have any big brands that you work with, that will also give you some trust and credibility. The third thing that you should put on your website is the number of years or in business, or the number of years of experience you have. If I land on a website and it tells me 5 years experience serving the Greater Toronto Area for 5 years, and I land on a competitor site, it has everything equal except that, I might use that to buy from that company because I know they've been around for a while. Also, maybe if you haven't been in business a long time, maybe you're a startup, how many years have you actually been in the industry? How much experience do you have? You may have worked for a company and then started your own company, and that might be 5 or 10 years of experience. So you can also say with 10 years of experience or 10 years plus experience in the industry. The fourth thing, and almost the fifth thing, so I'm giving you a little bit of a bonus here, is a powerful impact statement or headline. What is the powerful impact statement or headline? Well, we all know what a headline is. at the top of a site, when you land on a page. But a powerful impact statement is a statement that appeals directly to your best client or your ideal client's pain point or pain points, and that you can solve them in one easily readable and understandable statement. And also that it shows you're providing the solutions that they seek, and it should be simple and succinct. The beautiful thing about having your own website is you can test these messages. You can test how well it works. If you install Google Analytics on your site, then you can watch the behavior of traffic, people coming in. There's also a tool called Hotjar, Hotjar. And what Hotjar does is it'll allow you to see a heat map of your website on where people click, where people hang out, those kinds of things. So it will give you some really, really great insight to the behavior of the people that are coming onto your website. So number 5, and I've thrown in a 6th, is a strong call to action. So a call to action might be a button that says, set up an appointment now, let's have a conversation, something that is going to cause someone on your website to take the next step. It might be, if you're in e-commerce, all new customers, buy one, get one at 50% off. It might be, let's set up a conversation if you're in a service business. Something that will get the client to take that actionable step so you can bring them into your brand, so you can bring them into your wheelhouse, if you will. And if you also have a special offer, something that either sets you above your competition or something that is irresistible, especially right now during these tough times, a lot of people have been a lot more generous. Companies are being more generous. They're giving away things, or they're giving things at massive discounts to help the client. And I'm going to have a special for everybody at the end today as well, to help serve all of you entrepreneurs as well. So back to special offer. Special offer could be anything that provides your company, your client value. Maybe it's come to the website and download a form that gives your ideal client some points and tips, but not necessarily the secrets. So you want to give away some good value and good content, and just give away stuff. I'm not saying make your services for free, because we all have to survive. We don't know what's happening in the future. So providing a special offer with a strong call to action is definitely something that will make people move forward. So how can I help you? John asked, in addition to having me on the call, is there anything extra you can do to help the participants or the people coming on to the meeting? Excuse me, a little water here. So out of all the services that we do, and we do many different types of services that we offer our clients, there are 2 services that we get requests for a lot. And I think these 2 services will definitely help any business owner that may or may not, or may be wondering about the website, but may not know what to do. So generally we start off with a website audit with our client. And normally the value of a website audit is $400. And this is a light website audit. We're not talking a detailed website audit where we go into the coding and dive into detail, and it takes a couple of days for our developers to go through. We're talking a light website audit where we go through a few things. We go through the SEO of your site. In other words, just some basic things that a lot of developers miss, which are very important. We go through those things to make sure that you have those, and if you don't, of course, you'll be notified of that. We go through the marketing of your site. How is your site laid out? Is it customer-centric, or is it hurting your business? Obviously, we'll go through the 5 things on your site and other things that we go through that will help our client. That is generally a value of $400. And then some of our clients just take that and send that off to their developers or fix it themselves. But a lot of our other clients would like to get into a deeper dive about the website audit and have maybe a next step strategy. And we provide that in a consultation as well. It's generally at least 60 minutes, it's 60 to 90 minutes. And that has a value of $600. So most of the time, this is what our clients are paying us, of which the total value is $1,000. However, today and only today, until 2 p.m., then this will come down, that we're offering both services one time for $97. And it's only until 2 o'clock today. Now, how do you get this offer? Very simply, you come to my website, which is called winningonlinebook.com. Click on the tab that says offers. You will see 3 offers there. You will see what I just discussed, the website audit, the strategy call, and then in between both of those, you have the special offer today, which is both of those for $97. Make sure you don't click on the other ones, or you may be charged our regular rates. And as a gift, when you land on the website, you'll also be able to download a document that summarizes everything I went through today, and also a free offer to have your own review platform. Next week, John and I are discussing having me coming back and going through reviews, why they're important, and how you can utilize review marketing to improve your online visibility, and even how to control your reviews, which is something that very few companies know how to do, yet we've been able to figure these things out for our clients. So what I'd like to do now is open up the floor to some questions. So, and thank you very much today for listening to me, and I hope I've been able to give you some knowledge and some actionable steps that you can implement right away in your business. Thank you. John, do you want to take over and let's see what kind of questions we have?
Yeah, for sure.
Hi,
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. This is Susan here. I have a question.
Hi, Susan.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Susan. Sorry for 1 second.
Sure.
Before we go into the Q&A, we'd like to have a quick poll. Can you guys see the screen here?
Yes.
So this is about, like, of course, it takes your time and it takes our time as well to go through, because we want to make sure your time is well spent, like for this beautiful Friday morning, right? And we want to serve you better for your time, and we'd like to have this poll. Feel free to tell us, either you can send by the chat window or you can reply by the email. Is this webinar series helpful, and what are the topics for the best of your interest? Yeah, feel free, let us know. And you can do that now, or you can send us an email back, or contact me or Joe later on. But let's move on to the Q&A. Please go ahead, Susan. Yeah.
Let me point out, sorry, Susan, for interrupting, that if anyone does want to contact me, there is a contact button on my website. Just click on that, put in your name, email, and any questions you have, and I'll respond to you directly. So there's some other, if you have any questions about what we discussed today, and you need help, I'd be more than willing to help. So I think the best way to do this, instead of having everybody talking back and forth, is that please put your questions into the Q&A. And John, why don't you go through the questions and just tell me the questions, this way that I can serve everybody today, and we're not interrupted by crosstalk. So why don't we start off, John?
I'm looking into the chat window right now. Maybe we can start with Susan. Susan, please go ahead with your question to Joe. Thanks. Susan has his hand raised up.
Okay, maybe instead of typing, that will take a little bit long time. But my question is, for those e-commerce, I have a single product selling. So they're shipping the freight. It's kind of kicking. It's like increase the cost substantially for the one product. Do you have any tips or any tricks like how to dealing with those?
So if I understand your question correctly, is you're saying that your shipping is very expensive?
Yes.
And that's kind of getting in the way of your sales, maybe? You want to reduce your shipping costs?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What is your product?
It's a lotion applicator. Right now it's selling in the stores, but also I have Amazon website as well. So, but I want to go on my own, and I noticed the shipping cost is going to kill the business.
Right. I think what you need to do is you need to, sorry, just, it's my wife playing with the TV here. I think what you need to do is compare courier rates. This is unfortunately a high demand time for couriers. There is a company called eShipper, and they compare rates for you for different couriers. It's eShipper.com.
Yeah, I use that one as well.
You use them, good. You know what? The other thing is to negotiate with your rep and based on your volume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I can offer. I don't have a business anymore, or else I'd offer you a great deal. I sold that in 2012. So.
All right.
I guess Joe should buy that business back.
Right.
But let's keep on. We have quite some questions here. I do see people raise up their hand as well. But let's go through the question first from Matthew. And his question is, what factors affect my Google ranking? Why am I at the top one day and invisible the next?
That's a great question, Matthew. So the answer is not as simple as it sounds. And this is the big misunderstanding of the internet. People wonder why I show up on top one day, why I disappear the next. It could be one of many factors. There's actually 300 points that Google uses to determine where you rank. Now write this down, people. This is called a quality score, not SEO. SEO is when you're building your site to optimize it properly so a search engine can pick you up. But there's close to 300 things that Google uses to determine how high you rank. And they're not just looking at what you're doing, they're comparing you against your competition always. So if your competition is blogging more, has a bigger website, is updating their content on a regular basis, quick page load speeds, they're gonna possibly outrank you. How long you've been in business, also day to day, could fluctuate based on many, many, many factors. You know, I've seen clients, literally, I have some clients with 2 or 3 spots on page 1. Some days they have 3 or 4, some days they have 1, some days they flip over to page 2. There's so many different reasons for it. If you are on page 1 and then you're dropping on a regular basis, it could be that your website's getting older. Websites generally have a lifespan of 3 to 5 years. Could be many things. So the other thing is that Google will look at, one of the other things is it could also be your browser, because what happens sometimes if you're continually logging into your website, when you start searching your name, Google will serve you search results that you're typing in. Google formulates what things you want. So if you're always looking at your website, when you type in the name, your website's going to show up. So the best way for you to look to see where you're actually ranking is to put your browser in private mode, sign out of Google if you're using Chrome, clear your cache, then you'll see where you really stand. What we call this is a depersonalized search. It's as if I've never searched that before and this is my first time. So I get into sometimes discussions with clients, they're saying, look, I'm on page 1. And I go on my computer, I say, well, no, you're actually not. So they get mad at me because I've shown them they're not on page 1. So, but again, it's the reality of the situation, and it's best to be informed and know exactly what's happening. Matthew, thank you for that question. Did I answer it to your satisfaction?
Yeah, Joel, thank you. That's great understanding. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So next I say Kim raised up his hand. Go ahead, please, Kim.
Hi, Joel. Kim Richardson here. How you doing today?
Thanks, Kim.
Joel, I know you've been in the transportation industry, or we're in the transportation industry for a long time. Can you share with those from our industry that are on this call today, what best piece of advice, other than getting or being more involved with technology, you could give those folks in the transportation industry for success?
Now you're talking during these times, in general?
Just in general,
Well, being in the industry for 24 years, just like in any business, it's important that you have a great relationship with your customers. Regardless, I know a lot of people think transportation is a commodity business, and to majority of people that are not experienced in transportation, it appears that way. But many companies are reaching out to their customers in more ways. Being in touch is very, very, very important. Being at top of mind with your customers is very important, because if you're not top of mind with your customers, somebody else will. Transportation is also a very, very emotionally driven industry. And the reason I say that is because the majority of things that we transport have a time factor as to when they get there. So for example, if I order on Amazon today and it's a non-essential item, I'll probably not get it until May. And I know that because I ordered something on Amazon and I thought that was a mistake. But then realizing how busy they are, so emotion is there. Being on time with the client is important. If you're not going to be on time with your client, or you're not in general business going to deliver what you promised, please make sure you reach out to the client. Always have that level of communication, and always keep in mind of serving your client. What can you do to make their life easier? Embrace technology, online ordering, tracking, updates, and even a phone call. Right now, if we're slower, instead of a internet update, maybe a phone call saying your delivery was done, or if there's a problem, adding a more personal touch. This is what I feel worked for my business, and keeping in touch with the clients. Most importantly, listening to your clients on a regular basis. Did that help?
Yeah, it helped, Joel. Thank you. We're looking forward to having you at our conference. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Is there any questions so far? Yeah, we are actually 5 minutes over to 11:35 right now. So if there's no more questions, thanks again. If you need more information from both me or Joe, or the copy of the slide, you're welcome to reach me on email, LinkedIn, or from the company website contact us form. With that, let me put in, you're welcome to join us next Friday at 10:30. We have another e-commerce deep dive and review marketing. So we're with, as always, our special guest, Joe Mandebon. We're going to show you the e-commerce marketing, and also how to use the review marketing to increase your business. And that's pretty much it. Please check your email with your we will send out a thank you email with a registration link to next week's seminar as well. Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the beautiful day.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.